My Hero Academia, Season 7, Episode 149 11. Light fades to rain. And I gotta say, from the bottom of my heart, that hurt to watch. Let's talk about it. All right, guys, Brent here back with you variants to cover all things Marvel, DC, Lord of the Rings, anime, gaming, Star Wars, and more. And before we get too much further ahead, I want to say thank you once more for getting us over the 1,000 subscriber mark. Greatly appreciate that. Remember, we have 1,000 subscriber giveaway for those who have entered and for those who still hit that sub button. You still could be eligible to enter. Stay tuned for the community post for more. But look, this episode itself was one of the more emotionally powerful episodes My Hero Academia has delivered, and that's saying something because we've had significant moments where we've had Deku go through insane growth. We've seen him basically isolate himself, be brought back in to the world and society as it was, and shown that love can truly conquer all. We've had some amazing moments from Uravity where she was able to soften the hearts of those who had turned their back on Deku, etc., etc., etc. The list goes on. This anime and manga knows how to touch your heart in a very, very passionate and very, very true to form way. It touches on the best and the worst parts of humanity in certain characters, certain moments in time. Deku usually being one of the best characters in time. And then also for us, we have some of the characters who are usually darker in time, like say Endeavor or All For One. And throughout this episode, Shigaraki was emphatically in control. There's very little moments where he was outside of his element. And for someone who had been put in a moment where you are literally in a flying space fortress in the sky, specifically designed, engineered, structured to hold you in and to keep you isolated from everything else and have your entire quirk and power set basically diminished to an absolute insane level so that you don't just go boop, decay, and then everybody and everything is just automatically, removed from existence at that moment in time, a la a Thanos snap. Um, that's wild because the strategies were put into place. The safeguards were put where they should have been. Even with Deku in here, what really would have changed? You know what I'm saying? You really feel him being here would have changed the significance of how things played out? We have Best Genist. We have Mirko. We have the Class 1B absolutely shining. We have Lemillion and the big three from My Hero Academia coming through in their best and brightest way. They were able to ultimately work together between Hado, Tamaki, and Lemillion to create the vast hybrid plasma cannon. And I gotta say, Bones, incredible job with the animation on that. It looked incredible. It looked something akin to a Kamehameha Wave from those who are familiar with Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, etc., 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 soon to be Dragon Ball Daima. So it's like it was an absolutely incredible thing to see and to witness. Most villains aren't eating that. Let's put that absolutely into the realm of reality here. Shigaraki and All For One are like the only two that take that blast and go, well, that hurt. And then just keep on pressing forward because we saw that it not only went through the fortress, which now we have a hole for Deku to get into, we have it going off directly into, the ether, just out there in the atmosphere. Thank goodness this was a floating slash flying sky fortress. If this thing was ground level, any building in yonder direction is all of a sudden getting a quick little remodel, and it's not for the better in any capacity whatsoever. So we had these insane moments kind of break out. Lemillion was really doing his thing for a moment. He thought he was going to Naruto Takno Jutsu his way into a victory here and be like, if you had friends, things would have been different. If you had friends, you would have a whole different moral compass. If you had friends, you wouldn't be acting the way you are. So let's be friends. Let's fix things. Let's try and do this. Let's try and do that. Like Deku didn't try that immediately and has had minimal success at this moment in time, breaking through to Shigaraki in any single way, shape, or form. So good luck with that. And he automatically hit the trigger word for Shigaraki. This is his PTSD. This is his issue. This was his problem because you saw he was sitting here just clawing at his face like a wild animal because of his quirk so much, so is destroying the entirety of his inner being, that now he doesn't fit in with people. He doesn't belong with the rest of society because of just the unfortunate eventuality of harnessing a power that great is just too much of a toll on the human body. Even with all the new amplifications that his body has, he's now barely just being able to get his quirk of decay completely under wraps. So RIP to those who were he met along the way. He tried, becoming their friends and tried making things work. And well, we saw the flashbacks of how that went overall. I do have to give Shigaraki flack though, because you called my boy Bakugo goldfish poop out of all the darndest things you could have done and insult someone. That's what you went with? That's the move that you're like, this is going to be the one that gets you. This is going to be the one that makes things move forward. This is going to be the one that stings Bakugo the most. You understand this is Bakugo, right? The dude is literally was early on like basically our version of the antagonist because he was bullying our hero just through the nines, which we do not condone in any way, shape, or form. But ultimately now we had the huge, and I cannot state this enough, impressive growth of Bakugo. He went from being a person, like I said, who was an antagonist for Deku his entire life, to all of a sudden realizing some of the best moments in time he has ever had has been with Deku. The moment he pulled that rare Hollow All Might Golden Era card, who was in the background? Deku. And at that moment in time, he's having these flashbacks, he's having these moments, he's being able to connect and resonate and see that he needs to be the one to make a move here. He needs to be the one that makes that sacrifice. He needs to be the one that pushes things forward. He needs to be the one that makes the play that Deku, if he had been here, would have made. Because at this moment in time, I don't think Deku would have stood much of a chance against Shigaraki. I'm just going to be completely honest with everybody. Bakugo has gone through the ringer, and the fact he was able to stand up, let alone continue to fight in this moment in time, and then have this moment with Genius where he's like, take care of everyone else, and then go head off and show everyone what he's truly made of, what his heart is made of, what his determination is. Sure, he's not exactly everybody's cup of tea, but no one can deny the heart, the tenacity, and the overall vigor in which he lived his life. And now we are left on a cliffhanger of sorts of, is this the end for Bakugo? Will there be more of Bakugo? If you've read the manga, you know where we're headed with this, or where we have already headed. For those of us that have, we went through this moment twice. It's absolutely painful. It's stunning. It sucks. And next week, we'll have more answers as the villains continue to rise up next week. Once again, thank you for hitting that lovely red subscribe button. If you haven't already, you just listened to me talk for 8.5 minutes. Clearly, there's something you're interested in that we're talking about here. Bottom right logo in the corner, or the red subscription box below. I have been Brent for Geek Variants. I will see you next time for our live stream of House of the Dragon. Stay tuned.